I want to talk to you people for just a minute. Not as Tom the newsman. We've been together for 40 years, you and I. It's time to take precautions. It's time to protect yourself. This is not going to be like anything that we've ever seen before. Think of Katrina. Think of what Hugo did. Think of Baton Rouge. We're in for a terrible, terrible experience. And just from me to you, I want to read this statement to you that we got from NOAA just a little while ago. It says, attached is our noon Eastern Daylight Time briefing on Major Hurricane Matthew. These are the main points. Catastrophic damage is anticipated for coastal areas. Catastrophic damage. Major Hurricane Matthew is still expected to move dangerously close to Florida First Coast and Southeast Georgia coast Friday through Friday night into Saturday, with catastrophic impacts expected along and near the coast. A major hurricane has not impacted this area in 118 years. Don't forget about Dora. Since October 2nd, 1898, there is no local living memory of the potential of this event. Its direct landfall occurs. If a direct landfall occurs, this will be unlike any hurricane in modern era. We have some pictures from Jacksonville Beach where the water just keeps rising. We've been watching the flooding there, and it's only getting worse as the worst of the storm is upon us. There you can see where the berm has been breached. This is an aerial picture, obviously, and look at the flooding in the streets. This is what we've been warned about, and this is what John Gahn has told us was going to happen. Now look at this. This is flooding from Jacksonville Beach. This is video sent to us by a viewer. This is along 8th and 9th Street South and 1st Street.
And then somebody
oh my goodness,
taking a picture from their car window, and
you know, this is not going to go away in an hour.
No, it's not. But we appreciate the video. We're a little worried that you may have put yourself at risk there, or your car at risk, by going into the floodwaters. We don't encourage this. That's what we're trying to get the word across here. But look at that. You know.
We heard Mayor Latham say earlier that he does not expect anybody who's going to be allowed back into the beach before tomorrow. And we're also hearing reports that it may not be, it'll be Sunday before anybody is allowed back into the beach. Obviously, we have to wait for the storm to pass, and then officials have to assess the extent of the damage, and then they have to make a decision about whether they're going to reopen the bridges and they're going to allow people to return to their homes. Well, because of the soggy ground, there were actually some trees that fell over before the wind started blowing very hard.
That's right. And again, we had that nor'easter, and that was so critical.
Unprecedented, once in a lifetime. We can only hope, we pray we never go through anything like this again. Thursday, the National Weather Service told us there was no local living memory of a storm like we were about to face. And while it could have been much, much worse, almost was much worse, the meteorologists were right that this was historic. Here at News 4 Jax, we have been on the air for 72 straight hours, and we've done it for you. Our reporters and photographers put themselves out in the elements because our #1 priority is, and always has been, to give you the information you need to keep yourself, your family, and your friends safe. Right now, for our team here, it is time for us to take a short break. And it's my guess you might need one too. We have more news for you tonight at 10 o'clock with all the latest information. But until then, on behalf of the 200 people here at Channel 4 who have been with you through Hurricane Matthew, I'm Tom Wills. God bless you, and have a nice evening. The breaking news, pictures beginning to emerge of victims of the mass murder at an Orlando nightclub, the deadliest killing rampage in U.S. history. The dead and wounded include at least 2 men from here in Jacksonville. And harrowing new details are coming in from survivors. Just within the past hour, the owner of the gun store where Omar Mateen bought his weapons told reporters Mateen passed the background check required by law. We've also learned Mateen tried to buy body armor at another store, but the clerk refused to sell it to him. Good evening, everyone. No matter which candidate wins, the outcome will be historic. Americans will have either elected the first woman president or the first president to have never held a high government leadership position. Can you name the only 5 presidents who have never held a previous elected office? If you can give us your answer, go to our Twitter or our Facebook pages.
With polls many places, including right here, now closed, we should be getting our first results from our local counties soon.
As those numbers start to come in, we'll bring them to you on the bottom of your screen. All of the races, every major race from the presidency to local sheriffs. We'll be with you all night long with a team of reporters from here in Northeast Florida to South Florida to New York City, where Clinton and Trump are right now. If Donald Trump wins, remember, all of the Clinton people have been reading all of this news coverage that has told. The Washington Post said Clinton's guaranteed 275 electoral votes. Well, so much for that guarantee.
Right.
And
There are
so
no
many other
guarantees.
media outlets also said.
Absolutely not this election cycle.
2:34 in the morning. A stunning political surprise. Well, we want to thank every single one of you, particularly Jerry and Rick, who have been here with us.
Could have done it without you.
Could not have done it without you, and you're a great credit to Jacksonville.
Indeed. You guys want to join me on the morning show for some more analysis? We've got about 3 hours till we have to be back.
Sleeping bag over there. An hour of shut-eye.
Can't believe it. Can't believe you're going to be on the air in 2 hours.
Total dedication.
Well,
What
we
a
want to
story,
thank
though.
all of you for watching, for staying up here with us. It's been a ride, hasn't it? It's
What
really been
a
a ride.
night.
Right.
The breaking news comes from Ohio State University Hospital, where space pioneer and former U.S. Senator John Glenn has died at the age of 95. It was just yesterday the university announced that Glenn had been hospitalized more than a week ago. His illness was not disclosed. He had heart valve replacement surgery in 2014. One of the joys that both Mary and I and Tarek share as reporters is the privilege, the thrill, frankly, of seeing famous Americans in person. I got to cover the shuttle launch in 1998 down there at the Cape when Glenn made space history a second time as the oldest man to fly in space. By that time, he had gone beyond famous, and he was, as you heard Tarek say, an icon among those of us who are space travel enthusiasts. I followed this dream so closely that I can remember driving to work the day after it fell apart and thinking, okay, we're not going to get an NFL team. The sun still came up this morning. The sun is still going to go down tonight. This is still a wonderful place to live. It's going to be all right. Because as a reporter, you know, we're supposed to be objective. And I tried to be objective. But it was, how could you not root for this city if you lived here? Especially if you love football. Now, I have a lot of my friends who don't care anything about football and didn't care anything about whether Jacksonville got a team or not. But for those of us who are football fans, to think that this city getting an NFL franchise and what that would do to the quality of life here, I got to tell you, I was not impartial anymore. I was impartial in our coverage, but personally in my heart, I wanted us to get this team. But what I do remember, Stacy, is coming into Jacksonville Airport, all these excited people turned out at that airport to welcome Weaver and the touchdown Jacksonville people home. And they, if you want to see unbridled joy, unbridled jubilation, that crowd in that airport when he came home, when he came back to Jacksonville with that team.
Mary Beer along with Tom Wills. We're live at Victory Park in Arlington on this MLK Day of Service.
We're out here with the United Way. We are sprucing up this park. We're also building a Born Learning Trail. If you live in Arlington and you have a preschooler, bring them out here. Wait till you see what we've done to a sidewalk. It's just it'll be a wonderful thing for a preschooler.
We've been having so much fun painting, and they've been sprucing up, raking leaves, everything. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Wonderful chance to be out here and helping the community. I hope you get a chance to do the same. We're having a fabulous time.
Now it is our turn to play Santa at the annual Channel 4 Toy Drive. So many heartwarming stories taking place outside our Channel 4 studios. A little while ago, a 10-year-old girl and her mom came by and made a toy donation in honor of her birthday. She said she would rather make a toy donation than have birthday presents. So many wonderful people watching Channel 4. My wife Gina just came back from the North Pole where she got these toys from Santa, and we're donating them in honor of our grandchildren, the teddy bear, the Little People construction set for the builder in the house, and last but not least, in honor of George's garden, a Lego garden set. We'd like to donate these toys on behalf of our 3 grandchildren. Now 15 months old, Wesley, 5.5-year-old Adele, and 3.5-year-old Jack. And as you can see in this picture, the 4 of us all played very nicely together. Even I was behaved. They set a good example for me.
And that's saying something.
It is. Mary knows.
Thanks so much for being here with us, and the news continues right after the break.